Hello and welcome back to Tommy's Top Picks Weekly Roundup Podcast, episode 17. I'm your host, Tommy, as always joined by John.
Hey, how's it going?
Good. It's been a week.
Yeah, a lot of stuff going on.
Of stuff going on.
All sorts of them.
So, just wanted to pump our giveaway that we are currently doing. We are quickly approaching 200 subscribers, and when we do, we will be giving away a very nice King in Black variant signed by Ryan Stegman and Donnie Cates, and it is a 9.8. And all you have to do to enter in this giveaway is to go to one of our weekly top 5 comics and say what your favorite top 5 comic is for that week, and it gets you in. So
Very cool.
Watch our comic stuff, let us know what your favorite is for the week, and you'll have a chance to win this really nice comic.
Which is very cool. I'm not a comic collector, and even I'm like, I kind of want that thing. But even if you don't like comics or that's not your thing, you listen to our other content,
you're probably into collectibles
anyways. Yeah, I mean, hit the subscribe button anyways, just because, frankly, it helps us out. It costs you nothing, and it's a way to help support the channel. And I think like 90% of you that listen do not actually subscribe, so that's some rookie numbers. Let's see if we can get it up a little bit. Let's see if we can get to 20% of our listeners being subscribed. That doesn't seem like a big ask. So,
that'd be cool.
Hit the subscribe button. Yeah.
And ring the bell so you don't miss a video.
Yeah, we appreciate it. We really do.
So,
right.
How was your week? What did we play?
Good.
We played a lot.
Not much. You played a lot.
I played a lot.
We switched roles this week.
Yeah.
The previous week I had played a bunch of games and you did not make it out, and vice versa this week. So go ahead and talk about what you played.
I went to a Blitz night. I played Kasai, and I played the same one that we've been playing in our videos. And I played against 3 wizards.
Not fun.
First it was Kano, then it was Iyslander, and then it was Kano again. First game, I had lethal, and then I got Kano'd. And then second game was Iyslander, and I won that. It was a pretty close game. I don't remember exactly what the score was, but it was, just any wizard's scary in Blitz.
Yeah.
And then the third one was against Kano, and I had lethal again, and he just presented a bunch of damage, and I lost because I only had a red in hand. So I think Kasai is very good in Blitz right now, but the biggest problem is it's going to depend on your local meta. Our local meta seems to have adopted Wizard pretty strongly, so I might need to switch things up. I might need to switch things up because it only appears like it's going to get worse, because we are also starting to do more Classic Constructed at the shop, and just like our main topic, Iyslander is coming to Classic Constructed.
Yeah, that's exciting. Can't wait for this.
I can.
Well, too bad. What if Kasai comes too?
Then I'll be okay, but then I still probably wouldn't play her because the matchup isn't great.
Well, we don't know that until we see the new card. Like, we'll have a better idea once we see the full set.
We shall see.
She's a powerhouse. Kasai is strong.
Yeah, she is.
So we'll see. We'll see what happens.
I think I will need to drastically change the deck to have more blues.
Yeah.
Or just have my side deck have a bunch of blues in it.
Yeah.
So that when
stuff. Yeah. It's the beauty of CC. You can have that, game plan on the side.
Right.
Yeah. Which is very different than Blitz. You're just kind of stuck with it. And you're like, oh, I'm facing all wizards, and all I can do is get my null rune boots on, Yeah. Like, that's that.
I did run I ran 3 null rune, and then I kept the courage chest just because I need it for my big blood on our hands turn.
Yeah. I'm curious how that will evolve, because I do think one thing James White said is true, that Blitz meta, at least at our local scene, it is pretty healthy in that it does evolve.
Oh yeah,
we have like a winning deck in our group, and it's not played every week,
Right.
And so I think that is pretty healthy. Although apparently Viscerai is so broken on a competitive level that that's not so true anymore. I don't know if I could speak to that personally, but I know our local Vis is super strong. So
yeah, but again, our local meta is pretty healthy.
Yeah, we switch it up.
Yeah.
I mean, sometimes people come with just meme decks for fun.
Oh yeah, it's great. It's fun.
Yeah, it is a lot of fun. What else did you play?
We played Cursed City.
That was fun.
Yeah. So Cursed City is a Warhammer Quest game, not a card game, not a video game, a tabletop miniatures game.
But not a war tabletop miniatures
game.
So now,
So this is a cooperative dungeon crawling legacy. I don't even know.
No, I think those are all the perfect descriptions right there. That's it. Yeah, legacy game. Yeah.
So there were 4 of us, and we each chose a hero, and we went through this dungeon and essentially had to kill all these vampires and monsters and skeletons and bats and basically get there before nighttime, because then everything gets all crazy and scary. And thankfully we did just in time. It was a lot of fun, so I think we may continue doing it, and we might be doing some stuff on the channel for it. I have found a very zen, relaxing aspect in the painting of these miniature models. I used to do it back in high school, and I've started to do it again, and it has been very enjoyable. So I might do some live streams where I am just painting, and you can come and talk. Or I might do some little bit of tutorials, or haven't really decided yet. But something that could possibly come through to the channel.
Yeah, for sure. And I mean, there's a couple other games we talked about that are similar, like miniature type games. So I think something will come to the channel at some point.
Yeah.
But Cursed City was fun. I enjoyed it. For those of you that are board game people, I'm definitely a board game person. I was actually more board game than card game before Flesh and Blood. Well, Magic and Flesh and Blood kind of happened at the same time for me. But the game plays and feels very much like Gloomhaven with less complexity. So maybe like the newer Gloomhaven that's a little toned down. It plays very similarly. It's very fun that way. There's a fun dice mechanic to it instead of cards that is very easy to pick up. Once you get it, it moves pretty quickly. So it's a lot of fun. Good game.
Yeah. Setup and learning took us about an hour.
First time through struggles. Yeah.
But I think once after that, now we can move a lot quicker.
Yeah. It made sense once we got in and really got to it. It was pretty easy to just move through the turns. So.
Yeah, and you can have your characters, and you can have. There's a whole system of leveling them up and what that means, and then the enemies kind of level with you. It's really neat, but also just the hobby side is really, really grabbing me right now. It's just you come home at the end of a long day, and you're just like, you know what? The only thing I have to focus on right now is making this little plastic miniature look damn good.
Nice.
It's fun.
That's cool.
Yeah. But yeah, so I think that's all we played.
Yep. That's it on that side.
We played Sorcery.
Well, yeah.
We did a fire versus fire.
Yeah.
Non-video stuff. Yeah.
So check that out. It was terribly done.
Yeah, lots of mistakes.
Comments, lots of mistakes. It was pretty funny. They're like, you don't splash damage on sites. So
we get it wrong every time.
Every time, I swear to God, it's so bad. And I swear, maybe it was a specific one that did hit sites too. I don't remember. I swear we had it the other way before, but whatever.
Yeah.
Clearly, we did not do it right that time.
We will learn the game eventually.
Wrong.
Yeah.
I mean, the cards aren't even out yet, so I'm not. We'll learn it as it comes out. And there's more official rules. But it's a fun game, regardless. And we wanted it to be fast, so that definitely sped things up.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So that was fun.
Yeah.
You want to jump into it?
Yeah. So our main topic for the week is Iyslander is coming to Classic Constructed. While I was at that Blitz night and I had just finished playing the Iyslander player, he got on his phone and then saw that while we waited for the round to end, and he saw that Iyslander was coming to Classic Constructed.
Yeah.
And the whole shop just was like, wait, what? Show me. Let me see. And so we get to see the adult version, Iyslander Stormbind, who has 36 health. So you're only down 4.
Yeah, not too bad.
It's not much of a wizard tax. And then we have her specialization, right?
No.
We have a couple cards now.
Yeah, not this. Well,
we have two specializations. The first
day we just got the Aura, which is like a channel Lake Frigid style card. It's a blue, so she can play at instant speed. It does the little ice tokens that you have to pitch ice for, which is nice. Obviously, an Aura, it essentially slows your opponent down. Yeah, it's pretty cool. Her whole theme is pretty cool. And then we got a new, I guess, card keyword called freeze.
Yep.
That stops equipment. I guess it's all equipment and the hero from activating their power. So that's pretty neat.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so this will be coming in Uprising. And it makes Iyslander a token, so she could be played in Commoner.
Which this is the first time they've done that. This is a new thing, so that you can think about any other hero such as Kasai or whatever.
Please.
Yeah, in supplemental sets they can become tokens and get it adjusted theoretically, because now we've also seen with Starvo we saw a hero become a talented hero. So I don't know if they'll do that at the same time. Obviously with Elemental Wizard they didn't have to because she was already elemental, but I could see it. Like I could see Kasai being, Shadow or whatever. I'm not sure exactly what, but
that'd be
some talent. Yeah, give the adult version with a talent. And you got to think about this set, right? That's coming up. There's going to be talents in it. We already know that based on the cards revealed by Iyslander, right? There's ice cards in it and Elemental Wizard cards. So it's probably going to be similar to like Monarch, I'm guessing, because she's single, she's single elemental.
Right.
So it would be weird if you had, unless you have like two that are double elemental or double talent and, and then a single talent and a single talent, I'm assuming there'll be 4 heroes, not 3 for this set, but I could be wrong on that too. I think the 3 worked better with the double talent, right? Than switching which ones, it just makes more sense. So I'm thinking because she's a single, they'll probably all be single talent, or maybe just 2 with a single talent and 2 without, something like that. I think it will look more like Monarch, but there's a lot to determine before we get there.
Could be Ice and Fire.
I like that idea. I really do. I think that would be a cool battle. You could have Kano being fire specialized now, fire talented.
I just feel like you could have like the give and take of Ice trying to slow things down, and then Fire trying to speed things up.
Explosive damage,
yeah, explosive damage, go agains. Opposed to stop, don't do anything.
Yeah, that would be cool. Although then you have 2 wizards in one set. That's a little weird.
Why?
Well, we've never had that before.
Right, but they have different card pools.
It's true.
And then they have a sharing card pool.
Yeah, I was gonna say they have a sharing card pool too. It would be cool for draft.
That's what I'm talking about, and that's what Flesh and Blood needs. I mean, ever since the beginning, right? Yeah. So everything that they've touted is that they really prioritize limited formats. And I feel like most shops don't even do sealed anymore. So like creating a set that is very good for draft and very good for sealed would be a great thing, especially when they are trying to actively bring in these new players with the history packs, and just this is the time for the game to grow and not become stagnant with its player base, or to keep going, because there was a big growth in the past couple sets and they want to keep going. So I think a great thing to do would be to draw in these limited players, because there are a lot of limited players. Because you show up, you pay your entry fee, you don't need your $600, $1,000 deck to compete. You just you play with the cards that you're given.
Do you think they'll do another limited set after this one?
No, they already said it was.
Wait, that's right. It's a supplement. Yeah. So, geez, then we're going to be another 6 months minimum until a limited set
or more.
So it better be really good at limited.
That's what I'm saying.
Gotcha. Okay, yeah. Oh.
I mean, yes, I still have fun when I go and draft Tales of Aria. I always do, but it's more about the people I'm drafting with than the draft experience, to be fair.
Yeah, and Tales, so Monarch and Tales, like Monarch's out of print. I think is Tales out of print now too?
Yep.
Yeah, so they'll decline in availability. Now, granted, probably not in the next 6 months because of how much supply there is.
Right.
But I understand Monarch's not a very good draft experience. I have never done that. I really want to at some point, but I have not yet.
We could do sealed, you and I. We could try that.
Yeah, we could do sealed, but I want to try. I want to try draft with it. We gotta get a group together for that. I just want to give it a shot. Just because
I'm sure we could get a group to do it.
Fun. Yeah, it seems like it would be interesting. I want to get a feel for it, and it would give us a good preview of this set, right? Because assuming this is a 4-party, 4-hero set, like Monarch, which I'm thinking it is, just based on like the index numbers of the cards. There's people in the Discord that have been breaking down every possible way to look at this thing, and it seems like the consensus right now is 4 heroes. So
I hope so.
So trying to draft that, I think, I don't know. I want to see what Monarch's like. That's what I really haven't done it, so I don't have an opinion, and I really want to try it out. But anyways, let's get back to Iyslander because I'm just kind of going off a tangent here.
Well, no, one more thing I want to touch on with the draft and new player thing is if you have 2 wizards in this set, then they're gonna need to learn how to play wizard or learn how to play against them. One way or another, they're gonna learn how wizard works. They probably won't pick it. They'll probably pick something simpler for their first time, like warrior, if we get a warrior or whatever. There will be an easier class to draft, I'm sure, but then they will for sure go against wizards, and then we'll have players being able to teach them how wizards work and how it is our turn and so forth.
Yeah, and that's the other thing. Okay, so Kasai, I could see. It seems like there has to be an illusionist, although
and that's the other thing,
right? Because Prism's not terribly far. She just won another event.
Right.
Speaking of, we can use that as a transition at some point, but she just won another event, and I don't know. We have Pro Tour 2 coming up, Proquest.
I mean, she's not Starvo close, but she's close.
She's close enough that if Starvo's out, well, I don't know how the Viserai thing. A lot of people say Viserai will jump up if Starvo's out, but if she's winning at all with the number of events we have coming up right after Pro Tour 1, she might be out in the next 6 months too, right? So if we don't have an illusionist in this upcoming set, then we may have like a gap with no illusionist at all, which would be weird.
And Prism players will not be happy.
No, definitely not. Well, I think at that point, that's when you start seeing the different formats taking off,
What, like limited and commoner and...
Yeah, exactly. Because she'd still be available in commoner. She'd still be available in all that.
Is she viable in commoner?
I don't know. I've actually probably because they swing big. Well, actually, I don't know which commons are light illusionists.
I know.
Have to look. Yeah, that's a good question. It might not be.
It might be real limited.
Yeah. Commoner is such a weird format. I'm not a fan. I know everyone's very excited about it. I'm glad they're excited about it. I want more people to play. So the more ways to play that they enjoy, great. It feels like it's just very lopsided and easy to win with like 1 or 2 heroes.
Sure, and I think it's just one of those things where all the sets that we have right now were not built to support it, so it is not. So it is not going to be balanced.
No, not even a little bit. Yeah. So it'll be interesting. We'll see. At least you have a lot of heroes in that.
Right, and then over time it will become balanced because they will work on the banned and restricted cards for that, but there's still some classes that'll be waiting a while because they just don't have the cards to compete, because a lot of them rely on their rares and majestics, and
they really do. And that's why it's like I think some of the scariest ones are just real simple,
but it's a good onboarding. It's a good way to learn the mechanics.
Good. And it's very affordable. Your deck is like $10, if that. So, which is nice. So anyways, back to Iyslander.
Yeah.
Some of these cards are awesome. So a couple specializations, like you said, a new type of card called an Affliction Aura. You put it on your opponent and it does something horrible to them. One of them prevents go again. The other says, and this one's pretty cool because it stays forever, Frost Hex. It's Iyslander specialization, so only she can do it, which is nice. It does prevent Lexi from getting this power, although Lexi could probably use something like this too. At the beginning of your frostbite you control have at the beginning of your end phase, this deals 1 arcane damage to you. So it creates kind of a gambit where you have to decide: are you going to pay the tax and potentially waste your setup that your perfect hand, right?
Right.
Or are you going to get hit at the end and just like hold the hand and wait. And now, granted, it's not a lot; it's 1 arcane damage, but that in combination with this Ice Eternal, her other specialization, create X frostbite tokens under target player's control. And if it was fused, deal arcane damage equal to the number of frostbite tokens. And it's an XX card, so she runs a lot of blues. If she drops 2 blues on it, that's 3 damage. And confused theoretically, it's 3 damage plus another 3 damage at the end of their turn. Like, it's not a breakout success type thing, but it's definitely not a small card. Like, it's an interesting combo right there.
Right.
So, I don't know.
Yeah.
Oh, wait a second. Can't be played or activated. Okay. I was just curious if Icebind stopped Nullrune. I think it still doesn't because they are not activated cards. So Nullrune should still work.
Yeah.
Well,
that would be awkward.
That would be so awesome.
If you could
stop them from using their
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm glad they
Oh, you brought Nullrune? Really, we'll freeze it.
Too bad for you.
Too bad. Oof.
It doesn't seem to be the case though.
No.
So that's fine. I actually have been looking at this with an eye towards Lexi. I don't know Oldhim well enough, so I'm curious how this will play out with him. I know I asked in our channel, and somebody that had some familiarity was like, yeah, this is going to be good for Oldhim. It's not all of them because there's only a handful of ice cards revealed so far, but one of them is the Affliction Aura, right? It says attacks you control. Again, this is on your opponent. Attacks you control can't gain go again.
Right.
And then
but the ones that naturally have it, keep it.
What's that? Naturally have what?
It doesn't affect cards that naturally have go again.
Yeah, but most attacks don't have go again naturally. We've talked about that. Ninja's like an exception, but generally speaking, they don't have that. In fact, one of the last cards they printed that had natural go again was Ball Lightning.
Right.
Which they then banned it.
Right. No, I know. No, but what I'm saying is we might see a Katsu return.
That's true. That would make Katsu and
I've heard a lot of rumors that once Starvo leaves and Prism enters and Viserai enters, one deck that does do really well against both those decks is Katsu.
Interesting. I had not heard that. I did not know that.
That was another discussion at the shop.
Well, we'll have to see. I am interested to see what
I don't know what that deck looks like because I haven't seen or played against or played a Katsu deck in a very long time. But
yeah, same.
Something to
It'll
look
be
into.
Cool to see the cycle. Yeah, and it sounds like we're going to get a cycle pretty soon. Do we want to transition to the next topic? I think we covered most of Iyslander.
Yeah. Wait. Hold on. So we just so everyone knows, we are on day 3 right now. Day 4 has not been revealed, but I kind of want. What's our next topic?
Just Starvo and the whole meta shift that's available and not available.
Sure. Before we do that, I wanted to take a look. It does say on day 5 we are going to have day 5, but then is that the In the Flames and Uprising?
Yes.
Okay.
The 2 articles.
Okay. So In the Flames makes me think is what makes me think that we're going to get some kind of fire character.
Agree. I think fire is a definite. The question is it Kano?
Right.
And it should be because this is his home turf, but at the same time, there's also some stuff that, and I'm going to cover this whole thing once the 5th day is out. I'm going to go through and talk about what we can determine based on what we're seeing, including the index number of the cards. You'll see how they're split up and kind of get an idea of what the set will look like,
right,
and where the holes are. And then also the things that you can determine just based on, like, for example, Icebind is a common. So we know that we have 3 of these. It's a cycle, right?
Yeah.
So deal 1 damage, deal 2, deal 3. So we now know several more cards than have been revealed. And there's a couple of situations like that where you can just kind of like logic out some stuff. I'll go over that in the 5th day once we have all the cards and all.
Is that tomorrow? Because it says New Zealand time.
No, tomorrow. Oh yeah, it will be tomorrow our time, like late. It will be like 8 o'clock at night. But yeah,
because they keep switching how they do their time zones. Like with the Fab 2.0 announcement was US.
It was US. Yeah, it's tough. I don't know how you handle that as them. Yeah.
I think just consistency. Just pick one.
I mean, I like getting this at 8:00 at night. It's
I mean,
something
no, I
interesting to
don't
me.
mind, just for like consistency of, so I don't know.
Well, they don't say when they're going to release it, so it could just not happen. It could happen at any time. We don't know.
It
But
says 8 a.m.
always-
NZST, and then 11 a.m. NZST.
on those articles themselves. Yeah, because they're split up. That's right. There's two releases that day, so they actually do have a time. I thought you were talking about the cards today.
No. Like, and then when they did the 2.0, that was in U.S. Standard Time.
Right. You're right. Right.
Or Eastern Standard Time. Yeah. I don't know. Just a little nitpicky. Thing.
That's an East Coast
makes me do math
because you're so used to East
and math
Coast
is hard
time being a central thing. Yeah. But yeah, I'll review all this stuff and do a video on it and just talk about what we can figure out based on what we see. But there's some really cool stuff here, and I'm excited. The set looks interesting, and we'll see what the next hero that gets revealed is. I imagine those stories will be a nice preview into it.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, me too.
But yeah,
all right.
So Starvo can't hit Living Legend.
Not at all. So Prism won in Madrid. It was a Prism versus Prism match with Prism taking the crown there, and that prevented Starvo from Living Legends. That just happened like this weekend, I believe. Krakow was also on the list in the when they announced that he may cycle out, but he may not, the whole ban and restricted last thing. Right. They put a list of all the events that were up. Krakow was listed as one of them, but Krakow was blitzed, so it really didn't have any chance to impact. Right. So he needed to hit everything else to get it, and he missed the one in Madrid, which means he cannot cycle out via Living Legends. And that article made it sound pretty certain that there would be a new meta one way or another going into it.
So do they errata him like
that's
right before they
no one knows. It's I actually like the general concept of a big event is for the elite that can crack the code of cards fast,
sure,
right?
Yeah, I agree.
I like that idea of a shifting meta, and that happened in Magic tournaments. They used to release them like the week before the tournament.
That's what makes it fun to watch.
Yeah, it's totally like the best of the best do have a better shot, and that's where it's like a different thing. Your training isn't everything, right? It's also your ability to solve, or find combos of value quicker. But I also understand the other side of that. I've been working really hard for months and months and months to try to get on the ladder at all, right? Right. And now everything's changed. All my practice isn't out the window, but it certainly isn't obvious anymore, right?
Right. Right.
I get it. I get the frustration on both sides of that. I personally am okay with it. I think Pro Tour should be pro, meaning you are able to react to new meta. I don't know if that's what's going to happen. That's the other thing. We don't know for sure. They said they may. So we'll find out in a week from tomorrow whether they're errataing Starvo. But either way, he did not Living Legends out. So that's not going to happen.
When does Proquest Season 2 start?
I think it's like the couple weeks before Pro Tour.
Right.
It's like right in that same time frame, which is why it's a little awkward. Now, there won't be a ban or restricted before that point unless they announce a new one. So anything that happens as part of that Proquest won't have an impact on Living Legend status going into Pro Tour.
Right. No. I just meant is it before or after May 2nd the Proquest starts?
Oh, I think it's after. I think it's like the next week or the week after.
Okay. Because it would stink to have all right, I'm going to Proquest. Wait, nope, ban announcement. Good. Because that, in the middle of it,
you're right. It will to a degree. But that's, I see that's less of a problem. Just because Proquest you can do 8 of them. How many people do we see that they said they were going to 8 different?
Oh yeah, no, I know.
It's not a one shot. It's not the same as Pro Tour where it's you have one shot.
Right.
You're coming in somewhat blind, right? And you have one shot to get ready within 3 weeks. And for the people that are traveling internationally, which is a lot of people,
right?
They're literally leaving the week after this announcement. So they have to bring their entire card collection or
a play set.
Yeah, exactly. Think about that. That's rough. That's rough. So we'll have to see how that goes.
Or just hit the vendors day one.
Well, that is one thing. It's going to drive some vendor sales for sure.
Yeah.
which is, it's good for the vendors.
Yeah.
Not terrible for the economy of it all, but definitely weird, definitely strange, definitely could use some more communication on this. I know they've been increasing their communication, but him not hitting Living Legend is unexpected. And it's also, you got to think of it this way, right? So he didn't win everything.
Mm-hmm.
So now they errata him.
Right. Yeah.
He wasn't powerful enough to actually.
That doesn't make sense.
Like, it's like that's such an awkward.
I say
situation.
they just, yeah, that is
so awkward. So that's that.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens. Hopefully, it's nothing too crazy, and everyone is okay with it and can practice away. Maybe they just leave it, and he's just,
no changes.
Top of Pro Tour, yeah.
May 2nd, no changes.
That would be awkward too, because they made such a hype of it.
They did.
There's
and
no.
They were like,
here.
it'll be a new meta.
So here's a little thing.
By new meta, I mean the same meta. I just wouldn't want to watch that. I mean, we're going, so we won't be watching the stream.
Yeah.
But I mean,
Starvo win it all. I don't know. People are watching the Krakow, the Taiwan one.
Yeah.
And that, I mean, people watch. It's fun to watch. I even Starvo is fun to watch, and that one Prism one. So who knows? Pro Tour might have a surprise.
Yeah, it's true.
Especially with the best players,
Wonder if you can register a Bard deck.
No, Bard is a token, so it doesn't count for. I mean, it's a promo, so you can't use it for any tiered thing or whatever it's called. There's a breakdown. I forget what it's called, but you can only use it up to a certain thing, which is basically casual events only.
There goes my idea.
Yeah, don't do that. So mean. So yeah. Moving on.
I think it's just gonna be a little awkward, but I don't know. I'm still excited. I think it'll be fun either way. It does put them in an awkward situation of like, okay, so what do we have? It'll be real interesting on May 2nd to see what happens.
Agreed. We will find out. And I'm sure the internet will go ballistic no matter what they say.
Oh yeah. Whether it's good news or bad news.
Yeah. So this had me curious. I was like, the kind of flub up with changing the article and then having like Krakow listed for the Living Legend thing or the Vanished listing thing. I started thinking, I was like, man, do they have like a communication director at Legend Studios? Like someone that does this, like this is their focus to make sure there's no mess ups and stuff like that. Or
I mean, that's what we were talking about. Is one of our concerns is like growth.
The scaling thing. Yeah. So I looked it up. And this is totally just internet sleuthing, not a whole lot of effort. Just take it all with a grain of salt. But it looks like they have 19 employees in total. Yeah. And none of them are communications. There's some creative writing. There's people that could, get it done, get the work done, but not necessarily think about it as their full time, don't have any sort of mess ups, like PR basically. Right.
Sure.
Now, this doesn't say what sort of contractors they use, right? Which they clearly contract out. We know they do Star City Games. We know they do, Channel Fireball. Like they clearly contract some stuff out.
Right.
So they could have a communications firm working for them. That wouldn't be unusual for a company this size. But it is very interesting. Like I do wonder how this is managed within. And again, just basic internet looking. So this could only be half their employees. They could have 3 times this number and I just wouldn't know. Right. Because maybe New Zealand doesn't like to use LinkedIn. I don't know,
Yeah, that's true.
So I don't know. That was a little concerning when I couldn't find who their communications director was. I tried. But yeah, hopefully they get a little better at this stuff, tighten it up. Don't, flub up big articles that come out. Don't, say things that are, false, like Krakow being a potential for him to get points.
Just all very confusing and caused a lot of unnecessary drama, I think.
Well, that's and see, this is where I think we need to take some responsibility. I don't think you and I are very bad in this way, but I think the community as a whole is. Every freaking thing, man. Everyone freaks out. They don't even wait for like clarification or anything. They just like lose their mind on supposition and a poorly communicated thing. And, I don't know. It's just, I feel like people are too on edge about every piece of information about this game. And to a degree, that's a great thing. It means people care a lot, right?
Yeah. And I don't think it's just this game either. It could just be like, that's the world we live in. And people just, they are always constantly hungry for the next big topic to talk about. And if they can dramatize it and drum up, you know, unnecessary discussion for personal gains.
That's unfortunate. That's sad. That means everything becomes like kind of a toxic cesspool because that drives clicks.
Welcome to 2022 internet.
That's so
sorry.
That's
what it is.
Well, I don't ever want to be doing that. We have our opinions sometimes, positive, sometimes negative, but I will never make content just to be like grumpy so I can get more clicks. Like that's ridiculous.
No.
That makes me sad.
We are much faster to just talk about something else. Yeah. Like we have our grumpy days. We have our I don't feel like dealing with this drama. And then we just don't do it. We just don't talk about it. We skip it and we play a fun game.
Yeah, there's always something else to do or talk about. So why do you have to do that? But I guess you're right. It's probably the economics of it, right?
Yes.
It's just more clicks, more views.
Yes, and we prefer to stay more positive.
Yeah, I agree.
Because you spend your valuable time listening to the two of us ramble about a lot of random things, and we would much rather present positive things than negative.
Yeah, I want it to be fun. I don't want it to give you a heartburn.
Right.
This is a hobby. It's for fun. Let's have fun.
At the end of the day, it's a game.
Do something else that's fun.
It's something you are putting your money into that you don't have to for an enjoyment.
Yep.
Do not stress. If it is causing you stress, back away.
Yeah, for sure. Especially like if it's financially stressing you out, which I can understand how people kind of get, addicted to I need the next set or whatever sort of thing. Yeah, don't let that happen. That's
especially right now because the next set coming, it's going to be around. There's going to be a lot of it. Buy a little at the beginning because you're excited and hyped, and then buy some more later when it's going to be a lot cheaper.
Yeah, we were just chatting about it. I'm like, I don't know if I'll buy as much as I did. I still have cases left of Everfest. So I just don't know that I need to buy as much as I bought.
I don't think so. I mean, and then also, how long are we going to be drafting Uprising?
Well, that's a good point, right? Then you'll get new cards you don't have, or
every other week when we go to draft, there'll be more cards.
I'll still get enough to get a full play set.
Well, of course you will.
I can't not. And I'll probably buy. Well, I don't know how many of the cold foils I'll buy. The market will have to determine how expensive they are, but. Because this new set, the way they're doing 2.0, man, it's going to be rough for me.
Cold foils are going to be rough.
It's going to be rough. I really want them all. I really do. But I don't know how. Maybe I can just be patient.
Do you think long term, do you think Uprising cold foils will be more expensive than Everfest and Tails cold foils?
100%.
Yeah. Which I find, I was thinking about that yesterday. I was like, huh.
Yeah. Because they cut the number. And even if they print the same amount or printed more in like more boxes,
right?
It's still a lower amount. So they're going forward. Like we're gonna have this weird collectability gap, right? Where it's like up until Crucible of War, very very valuable. Then a dip for 2 sets or 3 sets, Monarch, Tails and Everfest, and then back up with Uprising and Beyond. Theoretically, if they don't switch it up again
for cold foils.
Yeah, for cold foils. Yeah, for the collectible stuff.
Right.
And I'm sure there'll still be some stuff that's short printed in the other sets that will be valuable. I know there's a couple, like, was it Galaxy Black was in Monarch? That's very hard to get a hold of. Like, there's always going to be a couple things that are just like gems of the set. But yeah, I think in general speaking, on average, your average will be higher for Uprising.
Yeah.
So, yep. And that's why I'm worried, because I want them. I want them all. But I don't want to spend a lot more. It would be hard to get. Oh, well, we'll figure it out.
Yeah, we'll play it by ear.
So, speaking of good news, bad news, and otherwise, we just saw, I think it popped this morning, like 5 a.m. or something, U.S. time, that there was an unfortunate end to the Taiwan calling. I think it was a calling, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the final match, there was a play that was looked suspicious, probably cheating. I don't know that they have officially said that yet, but regardless, the judge reviewed the tape and they disqualified the one player.
Yep.
And then Starvo went on to win, and this was a chain player going up to him. And again, just to get to that last match, it is a crazy, crazy process, right? Like you have 2 days of Swiss rounds,
Oh, yeah.
doing, I don't know how many games each, but like 9+ games, something like that, just one after the other. And then you go into your finals with the top 8, and those are no timer battles,
Right.
And they're the hardest game of Flesh and Blood you can play because they are the top players, right?
Right.
So I think both players getting there is amazing. I sure hope the person who got disqualified, it wasn't intentional. That's my hope. I think it was. I saw the video. I think it was. It looks pretty intentional, but
Yeah,
I
I
hope he
saw it
wasn't
too.
cheating the whole
Yeah.
time.
Oh yeah. Well, yeah.
I would hate to have it where he only got there because he was playing, sleight of hand games the whole time. And frankly, I hope they are harsh on it. The good news is another, cheat situation got caught and was called out and was stopped from winning. And it's like this game is not really for people that want to try to play, sneaky ways. They want a good game. They made it explicit after that last thing.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know why you would go in on camera and try to pull a move like that.
Yeah, that was my thing. I was like,
getting second place is not that bad.
No,
like, come on. Yeah, I would have that's why I'm like, maybe it was an accident, but it does look intentional.
Yeah.
But how do you think you're gonna do that?
You're on camera. You're in the semifinals. How many people are watching
in the finals.
It was the finals?
Yes, it was the total finals. It was the last game. They have like judges standing all around during those.
Then there's no way you're getting away with that.
Yeah, like why would you do that? So, anyways, that's what happened. We'll wait for official word, but they did disqualify. The announcers that were the official announcers there reviewed the video while congratulating the Starvo player who won against this chain player that got disqualified. So they, it seems like it's a pretty clear case of, at the very least, it's a misplay that was worthy of disqualification, which everyone would agree with. At most, he was intentionally cheating, perhaps the whole time, which is really unfortunate. And if they find evidence of that, I hope they ban him permanently, because we can't allow that sort of stuff to be, allowed, or you might get away with it, or you can come back next season and try again, so you get better at cheating. Like, no, just make it so it's like you're done. Like, that's the game. We want clean games,
Yeah, but I mean, at the same time, when you put up, like, LSS is putting up some big prize pools, and so when you put up those big prize pools, you're attracting those kinds of people that think that they can get away with it.
Yeah,
and I'm not saying it's a bad thing; it's a good thing, but it's just there are cons to that, and you just have to hopefully seeing that there have already been 2 caught, that continues and more people are discouraged from trying that down the road.
Yeah, again, I like their approach. I know some people had questions and didn't quite like their approach with I forget the guy's last name, but I know his first name is Matt. And he didn't explicitly cheat. Like, if I recall correctly, they determined that he did not break the rules. He just misplayed in a way that was granting him advantage over his opponent. And that was like calling him on certain triggers while not following the same triggers himself. So, which is even less egregious than this. This seems like it was intentionally like breaking the rules. So, I mean, they were hard on him. They said, we will be watching you, and banning you is an option, sort of thing. So I don't know. I think that was a good approach. I think it set the tone for what they wanted and expected at the pro level play, and I hope they follow through with that here. And and we just keep with a clean game. Because, I mean, I don't understand. It's a game. I understand, there's a prize at the end of it, but it's a game. If you feel you have to like break the rules to win, and that's okay, what the heck? What are you doing with your life? Like,
Right.
Unless you're desperate for the money or something. I just don't see any situation where that makes sense, because you're playing a game that has money involved in it, right? It's not cheap at that level, right?
No.
It's top level decks, and so I don't know. I just don't understand why anyone would do that or even try. Like I said, take the second. You still get money.
Yeah.
Like, if it's really the money thing, take the second. Don't get caught on camera being a cheater and potentially banned forever.
Yeah, and then losing it all. You worked really hard for that second.
It makes no sense. No sense to me. I just don't get it. I'm not that kind of person, though. If I screw up, I'll backtrack and give advantage to my opponent. I mean, never in a pro thing. You let the judge handle it, but in a casual situation, I screw up constantly. So I always try to play my best in cleanness, because I know I'm not very good at keeping track of things. So
yeah, I mean, I find just the best thing to do is, in what I do, is I just overstate everything. I say I play this, which does, instead of reading the actual card, I'll say it gives this go again, or my next attack, and I'll just sum it up of what it's doing. And then if the other player has a problem with that or has a question, then I can go into
does this
further.
have an on-hit effect or whatever?
Right.
Yeah, we have very clean shop. I do like that. And it's everyone's kind of helping each other out. It's oh yeah, this thing also does it, just so you know before you make your decision on what you're going to do. No one's trying to sneak one by.
Yeah. And with Kasai, it's and remember, at the end of the turn, I get a copper for each hit, kind of a thing.
Yeah. And I mean, I think we have to do that, because we have people that started 2 weeks ago, all the way up to people that have been playing since WTR time frame. So we have quite a drastic, variance in player skill. So you kind of have to give a hand to the new players.
It's just polite.
Yeah, I think so. And again, they came out and explicitly said that's how they want the game played.
Mm-hmm.
Good sportsmanship. Actually trying to win on the terms of the game itself and your skill, not sneaking one by or whatever, surprising your opponent was something they quote unquote should have known.
Yeah.
So anyways, unfortunate, sad end to the Taiwan calling. So we shall see what happens with that as a final result. But either way, that was a Starvo point.
Mm-hmm.
I think at the end of this, if Starvo wins Pittsburgh Battle Hardened, it will be at 974, I believe.
So close. Yeah. So close.
974. And Madrid was another 30 points, which would have made it 1,004. And so by losing Madrid, that clinched the no living legend. Yeah, so close. Dang it, Madrid. Why don't you play the broken stuff? What are you doing over there with your prisms? You could have gotten rid of them for us. Oh, well. It's fine.
Yeah.
It's kind of cool how international this has become. The scene is big and crazy. Yeah. Watching this video, I mean, I watched it through DM Armada and, oh gosh.
Flake.
Who's the other guy? Instant Speed
guy?
Flake. Yeah, Flake. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, Flake. Yeah. And it's cool, because they were we're not officially doing this, but we're doing this. And they were announcing the whole, it was so cool. I really enjoyed that. The coverage was great. And I only watched parts of it, but it's it's cool that there's such a community out there, and it's international. It's 4 a.m. here, but they're playing it there. And, and then, Madrid finished, I think, shortly after that, because of the time zone differences and stuff. It's interesting to see such an international game. This is something Magic didn't do at this speed, that I think LSS deserves some serious credit for, because launching a game internationally like this in 3 years, that is not
during a pandemic.
Yeah, during a pandemic, right? That is not an easy thing to do. And they have done it. There's clearly a strong community in various parts of the world. I mean, and there's a strong enough global community that people are traveling across the planet. How many people are coming from Australia and New Zealand to come to New Jersey in the next month? A ton. I know most of the content creators from over there are going to be there, which is crazy. It's so cool. So
I'm really looking forward to that. It's going to be very surreal. It's going to be a lot of fun.
It is. I'm hyped. I'm super excited. And it's crazy. It's cool. I don't think we recognize the positives enough, and that's one that I just think is amazing. That whole concept of see the world play the game. That's really cool. And they did it in 3 years. They have a truly global community.
Yeah.
I mean, shit. even Arsenal Pass is, one's from, I think, New Zealand or Australia, right? Australia. There's a U.S. person, so Texas, I believe. So it's like even the content creators are global. It's nuts. I think it's wild. I love it. It's a very positive thing in my mind.
Yeah, instant speed is Canadian.
Yeah, it's so cool. So global community, global game. Hopefully people can continue to enjoy the game and have fun with it, and actually, whether it's competitive or more like me, casual, and just enjoying the game for the game's sake. There's a lot to do and enjoy, and it seems like there's even more coming.
Yeah,
PvE and all the rest, and commoner. So it seems like it would be fun next couple of years.
Yeah, I agree. I'm very much looking forward to it.
Well, that's all I have. Anything you wanted to throw in there?
Nope. I guess we can just go over our content overviews of what we did.
Yeah.
We did our top 5 comics this week. And then we did Fire vs. Fire sorcery gameplay. We did our market update. And we did how to start reading and collecting comic books.
Yep. And I did a hype video when the Iyslander stuff came out because I was so excited I had to jump on
Journey to the Forgotten Hype Train.
Yeah, hype train. I don't know if that will be a regular thing, hype train, but it might be.
It should be. And then
what are we doing this week?
This week we'll do the final review of Iyslander. Once that all is up, we'll have our regularly scheduled market update, regularly scheduled top 5 comics. I opened the second part of the MetaZoo Caster Society bundle, and this one was the theme decks and some blister packs. I had no luck in my blister packs, no golden ticket, all reverse holo, which was sad. I think I only opened like 4 of them, so not a big deal. But I also opened all of the theme decks, so I have all of those open, and kind of just skimmed through them, gave them a look, because I hadn't really gone through and messed with them yet, and so because I just hadn't had a chance. So I kind of skimmed through them all, gave them a quick little overview of what I think the deck is trying to do, if I think it'll be good or not. Very interesting. They are all single color. The reverse or the release event decks are the ones that are multicolor.
Ah, gotcha. They were cool. The ones you showed me when I was over there. Definitely some interesting new critters.
Lava Bear.
Yeah, I love that one. That was my favorite of them all.
And Father Time. Father Time
was just interesting. I don't know if I could imagine a good deck with it yet, but it's interesting.
Something that if you benefit from drawing, that's gonna be broken. Yeah. And then so in addition to our scheduled top 5 comics, we're also going to be doing Amazing Spider-Man #1 What You Need to Know kind of deal. So there's a new Amazing Spider-Man coming out on Wednesday, and there are a bazillion covers for it, so collectors galore, and just like always with the new Amazing Spider-Man #1s, and which, I mean, for a long time it went 700 issues without a new #1, and then in the past like 10 years there's been like 5 or 6 or something, but that's a whole nother thing.
Something you can cover on that video.
Yeah, and we will. And so basically what the goal of the video is going to be is to kind of catch you up so you can pick this one up on Wednesday and start reading.
It's exciting.
Yeah, should be fun.
Cool.
Yeah, I think that's all I got.
Well, that's it for me. Don't forget to subscribe, hit that like button, leave a comment, tell us what we got wrong, said wrong, tell us how we suck because we like Flesh and Blood and we should hate it. Tell us whatever you need to tell us.
Tell us we should play more MetaZoo.
That works too.
All right. Well, until next time, have a good weekend. It's Sunday. Have a good week. We'll catch you next weekend.
All right. Have a good
See ya.